everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video will be another bioactive enclosure for my C. lividus, the cobalt blue. So as you can see, she was currently in this enclosure and I have already taken her out and put her in a catch cup to save some time. She will be going into this 30 by 30 by 30 exoterra. This will be more than enough space for her to be in, and as you can see here, there she is in her catch cup. So with that said, let's get on with the video. So just like the last video, you're going to see me make the enclosure and I'm going to talk a little bit about the spider while you watch me make it. So starting off, these tarantulas are from Southeast Asia in the tropical rainforest. Number two, these are an old world tarantula, so this means they are, a bit more defensive than new world tarantulas. Next, they have a leg span of 13 centimeters, so they reach around 5 inches for females, and males will be much smaller. Next, the lifespan of these females will live up to 15 to 18 years if you're lucky. And lastly, these can be very defensive if feel threatened, so you do have to give these guys a lot of respect when you're dealing with them. So this tarantula is a old world fossorial. So fossorial means they like to live deep down in their burrows and basically never come out until it's nighttime, when they want to come out and look for prey items. So if you do get one of these and you rehouse it and stuff, there's a massive chance that you will never see it because it will be in their burrows. So that is a downside. One of those, annoying things about this tarantula is because they look really cool, you don't get to see it. So yeah, so that covers that. So that's what fossorial means. I'm now going to talk a little bit about the care. So these tarantulas do like a bit of humidity. I keep mine between 70 and 80%, but these will even like it in the high 80s and 90s, and they'll be more than happy in that. But I keep mine between 70 and 80, and they seem to be happy in that as well. So to get your humidity, you can look at your substrate. So if your substrate is a darker colour, then that means it's got some moisture to it. Just wet enough for it that it don't stick to your hands is the best way to explain that. And if it's really light, then that means it's really dry. So what you could do is you can spot spray, which is what I do. I will spray the moss and I'll spray the plant, and I may overfill the water dish. But if you don't do, if you're not doing a bioactive setup, then you could just spray the corner of the enclosure and let it dry out completely, and then, spray it again, or spray another corner of the enclosure, just something like that, and you will get your humidity that way. So that's the humidity. Also, you don't need lots of substrate to fill your enclosure. Even though they are fossorials, they don't need a lot of substrate. So as you can see in my enclosure, obviously mine is 30 centimeters tall. I've got about 15 centimeters of substrate, and that's more than enough to keep my tarantula happy, and it'll be enough to keep your tarantula happy. Obviously it's up to you how much substrate you want to put in, but on a real note, they don't need that much. Just as long as it's enough for them to burrow down a little bit and feel secure and protected, they'll be more than happy. So that's that out of the way. I believe that is a bit of a, topic now with fossorial spiders on how much substrate you put in their enclosures. But yeah, they don't really need that much. So these tarantulas can be very defensive. These do get a bad, repetition in the hobby, or a bad name in the hobby. Yes, these can be very defensive if they feel threatened. Just like any tarantula really, any old world tarantula. If they feel threatened, they're going to give you a threat posture. Or they can be very skittish and they will prefer to run rather than, you know, give you a threat posture. So mine is more skittish than defensive. I don't think I've had a defense, a threat posture from mine. I've only seen a bolt out the enclosure, and you will see that at the end of this video when we go to rehouse her. And also I'll link down below my last rehousing video as she did the same in that one. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend these for a first time owner, and I wouldn't even recommend them for a first time old world keeper, just because of their speed and their defensiveness if they feel threatened. So yeah, I think that's everything covered about this tarantula. So this clip is sped up. I sped it up for me to fit everything in. So what I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to talk quickly about what I'm putting in the enclosure. So starting off, obviously the substrate, which is just normal potting soil and cocoa fibre mixed together. I've added in the same piece of cork bark that was in our old enclosure. I do like that piece, it's got some nice moss attached to it. So I thought I'll use that in this enclosure as well. I added the plant. I do like those plants. I find them quite a strong plant. I don't know the name of them, so yeah, I don't know the name of the plants, but I do like those plants quite a lot. The background, as you can see in this video, I have removed it because she was trying to get in behind it, so I ended up taking it out. A picture will be up on screen now, so you can see what the enclosure looks like without it. Everything is in the same place, it just hasn't got the background in. So that was that reason. Next, I'm putting in some branches that I picked up from the woods. You can go out and collect stuff yourself from your woods or whatever. As long as you're away from the roads, it's all safe to use. So, yeah, I added a couple of those. Her hide is, in fact, in the middle of that cork bark. I dug out a bit in the substrate so she can go down in there. So, yeah, I added in some sphagnum moss and some leaf litter. Still no carpet moss yet. Hopefully I can find some soon. And once I do, I can add that into the enclosure. And yeah, like I said, just some leaf litter that I picked up from the woods as well. Yeah, I think that's about everything. I also added in the water dish as well. So I think that's everything. And yeah, let's get the tarantula in. So here we go. Going to attempt to get her in a new enclosure. So I have sped up this clip as well because she was being very stubborn at the start. So what I mean by that is that she won't move when I'm trying to get her out the catch cup. So yeah, I have sped this clip up for that reason. So as I explained earlier in this video, that she ended up bolting out the enclosure. She obviously does that in this video, and she also did the same thing as what she did in my last rehousing video of her. So yeah, a bit annoying. What I should have done was put the lid on top of the enclosure to stop her bolting out, but I didn't really think about it. So I had to obviously deal with her bolting out the enclosure and then trying to get her back in. Getting her back in though wasn't actually that bad. She came in quite nicely. So, and once she was in, she didn't bolt back out. And as you've seen there, that's when she bolted out the top. And she will come down from the bottom up the top left corner. So you will see her come down from there. But other than that, no threat posture. The same thing I was talking about earlier. I don't get a threat posture from her. Or I never have done, I don't think. But she is very skittish and she'll prefer to run rather than give me a threat posture. So here she comes now. As you can see her legs. So she came back in nicely, as I said earlier. So I think this is about enough the end of this video. you are now going to see a nice close-up. It's a bit of a shame that these two get a bad name in the hobby, but I think they're really cool tarantulas. But yeah, not best for beginners or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely magnificent tarantula. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I do just want your own opinions. Drop a comment down below. Hit the subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.